Hey everyone. So, a couple of years ago, I did a bike review. Some of you probably remember it. It has been a while though. And it was on the Warphen M160C, full carbon bike, and it was a 160 travel front and back Enduro. And it was plenty capable. Very cool looking bike and a very unique bike, definitely. So, this past couple of weeks, I've been lucky enough to get a hold of another bike from Warphen. Yes, another bike from Warphen. And this one, not in production yet. Warphen does have plans to get it into production, I think, second half of this year. So, that being said, this new bike is the Warphen 1818. It is a full titanium frame, and this bike will be a 180 front and back travel bike. That's right, you heard it. 180 front and back. Though Warphen calls it a Super Enduro, and I think I understand why he calls it a Super Enduro. They call it a Super Enduro because though it has a 180 travel front and back, which is quite long, right? It's still a very capable climbing bike. So yep. So today I'll be going over a little overview of the new upcoming bike. The one that I'm riding is actually the prototype from Warphen, and I've been lucky to have it for a couple of weeks now. So yeah, without further ado, we'll go over the components. So currently on the bike, the drivetrain that's on the bike right now is a 12-speed from Shimano XTs. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with these. Same with me. These are the same drivetrain that I had for my previous bikes. It's got the Dior XT cranks and then a 32 tooth, I think, on the chainring. We've got for the hubs is the Hope Pro 4s, and I think the blue ones on the back, the orange ones for the front hub. And then for our dropper, it's the one-up dropper. Currently, this one's a 180 dropper on this, and it works great on it. Fits it well. For a saddle, we've got the WTB Silverado. For the rear shock, we've got a Fox Factory Float X2, and this is a Kashima one. Looks amazing, works amazing. And then for the upper section of the bike here, on the bars, well, we've got the XT shifters here, manual shifters. And then for the brakes, we've got the Shimano SLXs. I think these are the 7100s or 7120s, whichever one this is. The 4-piston Renthal fat bars, 35s. And then for the fork, we've got the Fox Factory 38s. Beefy forks. This is the first time I'm getting to try the 38s. Or Fox suspension at that. Great working suspension so far. This bike currently has 29ers front and back, so it's been working phenomenal out in the field. Alright, so next up is pros and cons. Let's talk about pros and cons of this bike. I've had the bike for a couple of weeks now, to where I've been able to ride it out on my local trails, and some of you know that my local trail is Greer Ranch. And for those of you that don't know what Greer Ranch is like, that's okay. If you look further into the video, you'll see some of the videos while I'm testing out the bike. The type of trails and the variety of trails that we have at this local trail is is perfect for testing out bikes. So the first thing that I noticed with this bike is the climbing. The climbing of this bike is phenomenal, and I think that is because of the seat post angle. Now there is a con to that seat post angle, but I'll talk about that later. So the seat post angle is upright enough to where it puts your body position when you're climbing. Once the bike is going up elevation, that it puts your body position in a comfortable enough position while pedaling up. I don't quite know what the seat post angle is just yet. Warphen hasn't released the geometry numbers on this bike just yet, so I'm still waiting on that. Once I get that information, I'll probably add that into this video, maybe at the end of the video or something. But right now I don't know the geometry numbers as of yet. So anyway, moving forward, the enduro capability of this bike is there. As this is this is a prototype bike, so just keep that in mind. But as it is right now, with the components that it has, and the way that the frame is right now, this is a very capable enduro bike as is, right? And talking about the 180 travel on the bike, as you all know already, it makes it a much more forgiving bike, right? You make mistakes, it's okay, because you've got long travel to kind of save you a little bit, right? To an extent. Okay, so lastly, the con. Like I alluded to earlier, the seat post angle on this bike, it's a bit forward. Now, I'm not quite sure if it's a user preference thing. It may be so, and it may be just because it's new to me. The bike's new to me, so that to where it feels awkward the way that it's positioned. But it's enough for me to kind of mention it, just to put it out there. And again, like I said, this is a prototype bike. Warphen can very much so make changes before actual production of the bike goes out. Right? So, and it's probably a good thing that I mentioned it here, so that you can make changes if it is a big enough issue. Like I said, it might just be a user preference. Just the way I'm used to my Bronson, and this is just a new to me bike, so it might just feel different to me. And that's really it. As far as the bike goes, it's done everything that I've ridden it on, trails wise at Greer, and it's done an exceptional job at riding enduro, a 180 travel bike. And for those of you that want to try out the bike, please do reach out to Warphen. I think he's got other frames other than this one that people can try out if they would like to. Also, a little preview is, if you go on Warphen's Instagram, you'll see that there's also an 1817, which is what they're saying, what Warphen's saying, that a trail bike. So I'm not quite sure what travel they're going to put on that frame, but it's very similar to the look of this frame, and to me, it looks great. And a trail version of this bike might be an even better offering. So, like I said, keep on the lookout for this bike. Hit up Warphen if you would like to be able to try it out. I think he's got a couple more frames that he has together, and please do watch the rest of the video to see how this bike performed out at Greer.